Ladies, it's time we have an honest conversation. For too long, many of us have equated being nice with being kind, valuable, or worthy of love. But being nice doesn't always serve you. Being nice can mean sacrificing your truth, dimming your light, and ignoring your inner wisdom. Today, we're going to change that narrative. This isn't about shutting men out or fostering negativity. It's about reclaiming your power and choosing to show up as your authentic self. Because when you do, you teach the world how to treat you. You are a masterpiece, a unique creation, deserving of love, respect, and abundance in all areas of life. But how often do you truly believe that? How often do you walk into a room with the quiet confidence of someone who knows they belong, someone who doesn't need to prove their worth but simply embodies it? Knowing your worth isn't arrogance, it's the realization that your value isn't tied to what you do for others, what you own, or what people think of you. Your worth is inherent. It's within you, waiting to be claimed. From the moment you were born, you were enough. You didn't need to earn love or approval. You simply existed as a radiant being of potential and purpose. But life has a way of clouding that truth. Society tells us that our worth is conditional, dependent on achievements, appearance, or the opinions of others. We begin to believe that we must hustle for approval, bend ourselves to fit into molds, and silence our own desires to keep others happy. And in doing so, we forget who we truly are. Knowing your worth begins with a shift in mindset. It requires you to stop looking outward for validation and instead turn inward. Ask yourself, who am I when I strip away the roles I play, the labels I wear, and the expectations of others? Who am I in my purest, most authentic form? You'll find that beneath the noise lies a being of incredible strength, beauty, and wisdom. But understanding your worth is only the beginning. You must also embody it in your daily life. This means making choices that honor your true self. It means setting boundaries when something doesn't feel right and walking away from situations that don't align with your values. When you know your worth, you no longer settle for less than what you deserve. You stop chasing after people who don't see your value and stop pouring your energy into relationships or endeavors that leave you feeling depleted. It's not always easy. Society has conditioned us to feel guilty for prioritizing ourselves. We're taught that self-sacrifice is noble, that saying no is selfish, and that seeking respect is demanding. But here's the truth: knowing your worth isn't about being selfish, it's about being self-aware. It's about understanding that you cannot pour from an empty cup. You must nurture yourself first if you want to show up fully for others. When you respect yourself, you teach others how to respect you. When you honor your worth, you give permission for others to do the same. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate self-worth is through the words you speak to yourself. Every thought you think and every word you utter carries energy. When you tell yourself, "I'm not good enough, I'm a failure," or "I'll never succeed," you're chipping away at your own foundation. But when you affirm, "I am worthy, I deserve love and respect, and I am enough," you begin to rebuild that foundation brick by brick. Another way to reclaim your worth is to forgive yourself for past mistakes. Too often we carry the weight of guilt and shame, allowing it to overshadow our present. But you are not defined by your past. You are a work in progress, constantly growing and evolving. Each mistake is a lesson, each setback a stepping stone. When you forgive yourself, you free up space for self-love to flourish. Your worth also shines brightest when you embrace your authenticity. Stop trying to be what you think others want you to be. You don't need to change yourself to fit into someone else's narrative. The world doesn't need another imitation. It needs you exactly as you are. Your quirks, your passions, your dreams, they are what make you extraordinary. When you own your uniqueness, you attract people and opportunities that align with your true self. Remember, your worth is not tied to your productivity. You are valuable not because of what you achieve, but simply because you are. Take time to rest, to play, and to enjoy the simple pleasures of life. Celebrate your small victories and be gentle with yourself in moments of struggle. Knowing your worth means recognizing that you are deserving of joy, even when you haven't checked off everything on your to-do list. Surround yourself with people who see your value and uplift you. Let go of those who make you feel less than or who drain your energy. You are not responsible for fixing others or proving your worth to anyone. The right people will cherish you not for what you do, but for who you are. Above all, knowing your worth is a journey. It's a practice of returning to yourself over and over again, even on days when doubt creeps in. It's a commitment to honoring the incredible person you are and refusing to settle for anything less than what you deserve. So stand tall. Walk with confidence. Speak your truth. You are worthy of love, respect, and all the good things life has to offer. Never forget that. Overgiving is a habit that often stems from the best intentions. You want to help, to show love, to support, and to be there for the people you care about. But somewhere along the way, giving too much becomes a pattern that leaves you feeling drained, unappreciated, and even resentful. While giving can be a beautiful expression of love and connection, overgiving can take you away from your own needs, eroding your sense of self and balance. It's time to step back and examine what drives this behavior and how to shift toward a healthier dynamic. Overgiving often starts with the desire to be needed or valued. Many people are conditioned to believe that their worth is tied to how much they can do for others. You might think that saying yes to every request or constantly being available will make people love or respect you more. However, the opposite often happens. Overgiving can lead others to take your kindness for granted, expecting it rather than appreciating it. And as your energy depletes, so does your capacity to give genuinely and joyfully. It's crucial to recognize that there's a significant difference between giving from a place of abundance and giving from a place of obligation. When you give because it feels right and aligned with your values, it energizes you. But when you give out of fear, guilt, or the need for approval, it drains you. Ask yourself, am I giving because I want to or because I feel I have to? This question can reveal whether your actions are coming from love or from a sense of duty that isn't serving you. One of the reasons people overgive is the fear of saying no. You might worry that by setting boundaries you'll disappoint someone or cause conflict. But saying no is not an act of rejection, it's an act of self-respect. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your energy or priorities, you're saying no to yourself. Boundaries are not walls, they are bridges to healthier relationships. They teach others how to treat you and allow you to preserve your energy for what truly matters. Overgiving can also stem from a desire to avoid facing your own needs and emotions. When you're constantly focused on helping others, it's easy to ignore what's happening within you. But neglecting yourself doesn't make you a better friend, partner, or family member. In fact, it often leads to burnout and resentment, which can harm your relationships. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's essential. When your own cup is full, you can give from a place of authenticity and generosity. A powerful way to break the cycle of overgiving is to practice mindfulness and self-awareness. Pay attention to how you feel before, during, and after you give. If you notice feelings of resentment, exhaustion, or frustration, these are signs that you're overgiving. Use these moments as opportunities to reflect on your motivations. Are you trying to earn love or approval? Are you afraid of being perceived as selfish? By understanding the root of your behavior, you can begin to shift it. Affirmations can also help you reframe your mindset. Remind yourself, I am enough just as I am. My worth is not tied to how much I give. These words might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you've spent years equating giving with value. But over time, affirmations can help you internalize the truth that you are deserving of love and respect, regardless of how much you do for others. Another important step is learning to ask for and receive help. Overgivers often struggle with the idea of being on the receiving end, fearing it makes them weak or burdensome. But relationships are meant to be reciprocal. Allowing others to support you not only strengthens your bonds, but also teaches you that your value isn't tied to always being the helper. It's okay to lean on others. It's okay to say, I need support too. Overgiving doesn't mean you're a bad person or that you need to stop caring. It means you need to shift your approach to giving. Instead of pouring yourself out until there's nothing left, focus on creating a balance. Give from your overflow, not from your core reserves. And remember that sometimes the most loving thing you can do for others is to take care of yourself. When you model self-respect and balance, you inspire others to do the same. Ultimately, letting go of overgiving is about finding harmony in your relationships and within yourself. It's about recognizing that your worth isn't tied to what you do for others, but to who you are. By honoring your own needs and setting healthy boundaries, you create space for relationships that are rooted in mutual respect and genuine connection. You deserve to give and receive love in ways that nourish your soul, not deplete it. Let this be your permission to step into a new way of being, one where giving comes from a place of abundance and joy. Setting clear boundaries is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. It's an act of self-love that communicates your needs, values, and limits to the people around you. While many people fear that setting boundaries might create distance or conflict in their relationships, the truth is that boundaries are essential for healthy, balanced connections. They foster mutual respect, clarity, and emotional safety. Without boundaries, you may find yourself feeling overextended, unappreciated, or even resentful. Boundaries aren't about keeping people out, they're about creating a space where you can thrive. Boundaries are a declaration of who you are and what you stand for. They are not about controlling others, but about protecting your energy and emotional well-being. When you set a boundary, you're saying, this is what I need to feel respected and valued. It's a way of honoring yourself, recognizing that your time, energy, and emotions are precious resources that deserve care and attention. Boundaries aren't selfish, they're necessary. Many people struggle with setting boundaries because they fear rejection, judgment, or confrontation. They worry that saying no will make them seem unkind or uncooperative. But setting a boundary doesn't mean you're being mean or harsh, it means you're being honest. It's about being clear about what you can and cannot do, and trusting that the people who truly care about you will understand and respect your needs. If someone reacts negatively to your boundary, it often says more about their inability to respect limits than about your decision to set them. The first step in setting boundaries is knowing your own limits. Take time to reflect on what feels comfortable and what doesn't in your relationships, work, and daily interactions. Pay attention to situations where you feel drained, overwhelmed, or taken advantage of. These are often signs that your boundaries are being crossed or that you haven't set them clearly. Ask yourself, what do I need to feel respected, safe, and valued? Your answers to these questions will guide you in creating boundaries that align with your values and well-being. Once you've identified your boundaries, the next step is to communicate them clearly and confidently. This can be challenging, especially if you're not used to asserting your needs. But remember, it's not about making demands, it's about expressing your truth. Use I statements to keep the focus on your feelings and needs rather than blaming or accusing others. For example, instead of saying, "You never respect my time," you could say, "I need more notice if we're going to change plans so I can adjust my schedule." This approach fosters understanding and reduces the likelihood of defensiveness. Consistency is key when setting boundaries. It's not enough to state your boundary once and expect it to stick. You may need to reinforce it over time, especially if others are used to you being more accommodating or flexible. Be patient with yourself and with others as you navigate this new dynamic. Remember, setting boundaries is a skill that takes practice. Each time you assert your limits, you strengthen your ability to honor your needs. It's also important to remember that setting boundaries isn't just about saying no to others, it's also about saying yes to yourself. Every time you set a boundary, you're creating space for the things that truly matter to you. Whether it's more time for self-care, the energy to pursue your passions, or the emotional capacity to show up fully in your relationships, boundaries allow you to live a more intentional and fulfilling life. Sometimes setting boundaries can mean letting go of relationships or situations that no longer serve you. This can be painful, but it's also liberating. You cannot force someone to respect your boundaries, but you can choose how you respond when they don't. If someone repeatedly crosses your boundaries despite your clear communication, it may be a sign that the relationship isn't healthy or balanced. Letting go of such connections creates space for relationships that are built on mutual respect and understanding. Boundaries are not fixed, they can evolve as you grow and change. What works for you today might not work for you tomorrow, and that's okay. Give yourself permission to reassess and adjust your boundaries as needed. Life is dynamic and so are your needs. By staying attuned to yourself, you can ensure that your boundaries continue to serve and support you. At the heart of setting boundaries is the belief that you are worthy of respect, love, and care. It's a practice of standing in your power and advocating for your well-being. While it may feel uncomfortable or difficult at first, the rewards of setting boundaries are profound. You'll experience greater clarity, stronger relationships, and a deeper sense of peace and alignment. In the end, setting boundaries is about creating a life that reflects your values and priorities. It's about honoring who you are and trusting that you deserve to be treated with kindness and respect. Boundaries are not barriers, they are bridges to a healthier, more fulfilling life. By embracing them, you step into your truth and invite others to meet you there. Many people spend their lives chasing approval, constantly seeking validation from others to feel worthy or accomplished. They adjust their words, actions, even their personalities in the hope of being liked or accepted. But living for approval is an endless race, one that often leads to frustration, insecurity, and a loss of self. Instead, shifting your focus to earning respect rather than approval is a transformative change that fosters authenticity, confidence, and genuine connection. Respect and approval are not the same. Approval is often fleeting and superficial, based on conforming to others' expectations or preferences. It can change with the whims of opinion or circumstances. Respect, on the other hand, is earned through your character, integrity, and how you live your life. It's grounded in the deeper qualities you bring to the world, your honesty, strength, and commitment to your values. Respect endures because it reflects who you truly are, not who others want you to be. When you prioritize respect, you give yourself permission to stand firmly in your truth. You stop worrying about pleasing everyone and start focusing on living authentically. Approval seeking often requires you to compromise your beliefs or needs, but respect demands that you honor them. This doesn't mean being rigid or unyielding, it means being clear about your values and boundaries while remaining open to growth and collaboration. It's about being true to yourself while still engaging with others in a meaningful way. Focusing on respect allows you to embrace your individuality. Everyone is unique with their own strengths, perspectives, and experiences. Trying to fit into someone else's mold not only stifles your potential, but also diminishes your sense of self. When you seek approval, you often minimize your uniqueness to fit in, but when you strive for respect, you celebrate it. You show the world who you are without apology. And in doing so, you inspire others to do the same. Earning respect requires self-respect. You cannot expect others to value you if you don't value yourself. This means treating yourself with kindness and setting boundaries that protect your well-being. It means speaking up for yourself even when it's uncomfortable, and walking away from situations or relationships that don't honor your worth. Self-respect is the foundation of all respect. It shows others that you take yourself seriously and expect them to do the same. When you focus on respect, you cultivate a deeper sense of confidence. Approval seeking often stems from insecurity, a need to prove yourself to others to feel good about who you are. But respect doesn't require external validation. It comes from knowing your own value. You begin to trust yourself, relying on your inner compass rather than the opinions of others. This confidence is magnetic, drawing people to you who appreciate and admire your authenticity. Shifting your focus from approval to respect also transforms your relationships. Approval seeking can lead to imbalanced dynamics where you overgive, compromise too much, or tolerate behavior that doesn't align with your values. When you prioritize respect, you create relationships that are built on mutual understanding and genuine connection. You set the tone for how you want to be treated, and you attract people who value you for who you are, not what you can do for them. Living for respect rather than approval also gives you a greater sense of freedom. Approval seeking keeps you trapped in the opinions and expectations of others, constantly adjusting to meet their standards. It's exhausting and limiting. Respect, however, liberates you. It allows you to live according to your own values and priorities, free from the need to conform. You make decisions based on what feels right for you, not what will please others. Focusing on respect doesn't mean disregarding others or becoming indifferent to their opinions. Respect is not about being dismissive or arrogant. It's about standing firm in your truth while still engaging with others respectfully. You can listen to feedback, consider different perspectives, and adapt when necessary without losing sight of your core values. Respect is a two-way street. It's about giving and receiving in equal measure. Making this shift is not always easy, especially if you've spent years seeking approval. It requires courage and a willingness to let go of the need to be liked by everyone. But it's worth it. As you let go of approval seeking, you'll find a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. You'll stop worrying about what others think and start focusing on what truly matters, living a life that aligns with your values and goals. Ultimately, respect is about integrity. It's about showing up as your best self and living in a way that reflects your principles. It's about making choices that honor your truth and inspire others to do the same. When you focus on respect rather than approval, you step into your power. You no longer need to chase validation because you know your worth. You become a person of substance, someone who commands respect not through demands but through the way you live and lead. And in doing so, you create a life that feels truly fulfilling and aligned with who you are. Prioritizing self-love is not selfish, it is essential. It is the foundation of a healthy, balanced life where you nurture your relationship with yourself so that you can give to others without losing who you are. When you prioritize self-love, you honor your worth, embrace your uniqueness, and cultivate an inner strength that carries you through life's challenges. It is a transformative practice that begins with recognizing that you deserve love and care, just as much as anyone else. Self-love starts with self-awareness. It means taking the time to understand your needs, values, and emotions. Many people are so busy taking care of others or meeting external demands that they forget to check in with themselves. But self-love requires intentionality. It's about asking yourself what you need and then giving yourself permission to meet those needs. Whether it's rest, time for reflection, or pursuing a passion, self-awareness is the first step in learning how to love yourself. Part of prioritizing self-love is letting go of self-criticism and replacing it with self-compassion. Too often people are their own harshest critics, focusing on their flaws or mistakes while dismissing their strengths and achievements. But self-love is about being kind to yourself, especially when things don't go as planned. It's about treating yourself with the same care and understanding that you would offer a close friend. When you practice self-compassion, you create a safe space within yourself to grow and heal. Taking care of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being is a powerful act of self-love. This means nourishing your body with healthy food, staying active, and getting enough rest. It also means setting aside time to nurture your mental health, whether through meditation, journaling, therapy, or simply unplugging from the busyness of life. Emotional self-care involves acknowledging and processing your feelings without judgment. It's about allowing yourself to feel joy, sadness, or anger without labeling those emotions as good or bad. Setting boundaries is another crucial aspect of self-love. When you prioritize your needs and limits, you communicate to yourself and others that your well-being matters. Boundaries are not about shutting people out, but about creating a space where you can thrive. They allow you to protect your energy, focus on what's important to you, and engage in relationships that are mutually supportive. Saying no when you need to is not unkind, it's an act of self-respect. Self-love also means letting go of comparisons. In a world that often glorifies perfection and competition, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring yourself against others. But comparisons only breed dissatisfaction and insecurity. Instead, focus on your own journey. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and recognize that your path is uniquely yours. There is no one else in the world like you, and that is your power. Embrace your individuality and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Cultivating self-love involves rewriting the narrative you hold about yourself. Pay attention to your self-talk, the way you speak to yourself in your mind. If that inner dialogue is negative or filled with doubt, it's time to reframe it. Replace thoughts like "I'm not good enough" with "I am worthy and capable." Affirmations can be a helpful tool in this process. By repeating positive statements about yourself, you begin to shift your mindset and build a stronger sense of self-worth. Another way to prioritize self-love is by surrounding yourself with people who uplift and support you. The company you keep has a significant impact on how you view yourself. Seek out relationships that encourage growth, respect, and authenticity. Let go of connections that drain your energy or make you question your value. You deserve to be around people who see your worth and remind you of your light. Gratitude plays an important role in self-love as well. Take time to appreciate the qualities that make you unique and the progress you've made on your journey. Gratitude helps you focus on what's going right in your life rather than fixating on what's missing. When you acknowledge the abundance within and around you, you create a sense of contentment and joy that reinforces your self-worth. Finally, remember that self-love is not a destination, but a continuous practice. It requires patience, commitment, and an open heart. There will be days when it feels easier and days when it feels harder, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep showing up for yourself even when it's difficult. Self-love is about building a lifelong relationship with yourself, one rooted in kindness, respect, and understanding. When you prioritize self-love, you become your own greatest advocate and ally. You stop seeking validation from external sources and start finding it within. You realize that your worth is not determined by what you do or how others perceive you, but by the simple fact that you exist. By embracing self-love, you create a life that reflects your values and desires. You step into your power and live from a place of authenticity and joy. Self-love is not just a gift to yourself, it's a gift to the world, because when you love and care for yourself, you radiate that love outward, inspiring others to do the same. Stepping into your power is a profound act of self-ownership and self-empowerment. It means fully embracing who you are, acknowledging your strengths, and using them to create the life you deserve. It's about recognizing that you are not a passive participant in your own story, but the author of it. When you step into your power, you reclaim control over your choices, your mindset, and your destiny. It is a declaration to the world and to yourself that you are worthy, capable, and ready to live authentically and boldly. This process begins with self-awareness. To step into your power, you must first understand who you are at your core. This means taking the time to reflect on your values, passions, and dreams. What matters most to you? What lights you up and gives you purpose? Self-awareness is not about focusing on your perceived shortcomings, but about celebrating your unique qualities and understanding what drives you. It's about getting to know yourself on a deep level so you can align your life with your true essence. Believing in your own worth is essential. Too often people hold themselves back because of doubt or fear. They question whether they are good enough, smart enough, or strong enough to pursue their goals. But stepping into your power requires you to let go of those doubts and trust in your abilities. You were not born to play small or to shrink yourself to fit into someone else's expectations. You were born to shine. When you believe in your worth, you give yourself permission to take risks, to try, and to grow. Taking responsibility for your life is another crucial step. This doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything that happens, but it does mean owning your responses to life's circumstances. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for others to fix things for you or for conditions to be perfect. You recognize that you have the power to make changes, to create opportunities, and to shape your future. This mindset shift is liberating because it puts the power back in your hands. Stepping into your power also involves letting go of fear. Fear often disguises itself as practicality or caution, convincing you to stay within your comfort zone. But growth and empowerment lie outside of that zone. It's natural to feel scared when you're stepping into something new, but fear doesn't have to control you. Instead of letting it hold you back, use it as a sign that you're on the edge of something transformative. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the willingness to move forward despite it. Part of this journey is setting boundaries and learning to say no. You cannot fully step into your power if you are constantly giving it away to others. Boundaries are a way of protecting your time, energy, and well-being. They allow you to focus on what truly matters and to engage in relationships that respect your worth. Saying no is not selfish, it's a powerful act of self-care and self-respect. It's a way of prioritizing yourself and ensuring that you have the energy to pursue your goals. Embracing your authenticity is another key element. Stepping into your power means showing up as your true self, not the version of yourself that you think others want to see. It's about being unapologetically you, even when it feels vulnerable. When you live authentically, you attract people and opportunities that align with your true self. You stop wasting energy trying to fit in and start channeling that energy into living a life that feels genuine and fulfilling. Another vital aspect is taking action. Stepping into your power is not just a mindset, it's a series of choices and actions that reflect your belief in yourself. It's about setting goals and working toward them, even when progress feels slow. Action is what turns dreams into reality. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a statement that you are moving toward your vision. It's in the doing that you realize your strength and capability. Gratitude plays an important role in this process. When you take time to appreciate the progress you've made and the strengths you already possess, you cultivate a sense of empowerment. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. It reminds you of your resilience and the resources you have to continue growing. Gratitude is a powerful tool for keeping you grounded and optimistic as you step into your power. Lastly, stepping into your power means being willing to evolve. Growth is a continuous journey, and empowerment is not about reaching a fixed destination. It's about embracing the process of becoming the best version of yourself. It's about learning from setbacks, celebrating successes, and always striving to expand your horizons. When you commit to ongoing growth, you open yourself to endless possibilities and keep moving closer to your highest potential. Stepping into your power is not just about achieving external success. It's about feeling aligned with who you are and living from a place of confidence and purpose. It's about realizing that you have everything you need within you to create a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. When you step into your power, you inspire others to do the same. You become a beacon of strength, showing that it is possible to live boldly and authentically. And in doing so, you not only transform your own life, but also make a meaningful impact on the world around you.